Thanks, John.
All right, it's been a fun year to promote the PRI trade show this year. Something really big happened about a year and a half ago, and SEMA bought Performance Racing Industry. And then we worked for several months together with a racing trade show in Indianapolis called the IMIS show. And PRI was located in Orlando, and the IMIS show was in Indianapolis. And the racing industry is really not big enough to have two national trade shows. And the SEMA leadership looked ahead and thought, we can really help this racing industry, we can help these racing businesses if we purchase the IMIS show, consolidate it in the PRI trade show, and bring PRI from Orlando to right in the middle of the Midwest to Indianapolis. And that's what we did, and we announced it last December. And the results are that there's been great enthusiasm on the parts of racing parts manufacturers, and then that's created a lot of interest in attending the event. The show grew in terms of exhibitors from 950 companies exhibiting to 1,200 right now. The amount of booths that we have grew from 2,800 in Orlando to 3,400 right now in Indianapolis. And our goal with the show is not necessarily to make it big. That's just the response that we have from the move back to Indianapolis. Our goal is to make it the best trade show for this racing industry, to get everybody all in one place, all at one time, so that the retailers of racing parts, the race engine builders, the race car builders, the professional race teams, all go to one place and they see everything. And that's the Performance Racing Industry Trade Show. And so I'd like to thank SEMA while I'm standing up here for putting all this together. It's been really great. If I just take a few minutes to talk about the state of the industry and kind of what we see from the perspective of PRI. 2009 was a very difficult year for racing businesses all over, as it was difficult for virtually any business in America. The racing business has recovered. There was some recalibration. Racing businesses tend to not be over-leveraged, not too burdened with debt, so they're able to fight through this recession. And now we see kind of business back to normal. It's not quite the glory days of maybe 2007, 2006, but in 2009, we heard people really voicing concerns about the future of their businesses. We don't hear that anymore. There's not so much complaining. There's just hard work to be done. And for right now, for racers getting racing components, I mean, they're getting great delivery times. They're getting great products. They're getting them at the best prices. So really, it's actually a very good time to be a racer because you get parts really efficiently right now and really good parts. If I look around to see kind of what's growing, just as an example, I can't quite talk about the entire racing industry, but there's a series called PRI, and PRI is midget racing. So you have kind of a small downsized race car, maybe 350, 400 horsepower, about 1,000 pounds, a real racy kind of race car. And what PRI has done is they created a simple formula. They'll race on dirt, and dirt is more affordable to race on, better for these times. They will race on only short tracks. So instead of going to long tracks where the technology really kicks in and makes people who spend more kind of run up front, people who spend less, it's hard to be competitive. PRI just runs on short tracks. And when they go away for a race weekend, they make sure that the race teams get 2 feature races in. So they get 2 races for a race weekend. So I'm just sharing you with that. If I look for something that's growing out there in the racing business, they figured out something that they could respect the need for more affordability right now in this economy, still make it fun, and still get the racers out and racing. And as I look for other places that were strong, just so you know, the historics and vintage area of racing, that seemed to stay strong. Those guys seem to have money, and they're ready to spend it without so much of a tight budget. And then the off-road segment, too, has stayed really strong in terms of car counts, in terms of what they're spending. For this year, I just want to mention that there'll be a lot of interest in the 2-door United Sports Car Championship. So as I travel and I talk to people in the segment of sports car racing and even Formula car racing, when I talk to companies that are involved in the more sophisticated side of racing technology, they're really rooting for NASCAR and putting these series together. And a lot of people are very curious, what is this going to do for sports car racing? And the cars are great, the drivers are great, there's a romance to sports car racing that can attract the fans and get them there. And we think NASCAR has the ability to take it to another level. And then finally, I just want to also mention that the international participation in racing around the world has just grown since the turn in the economy. So the European companies were doing really well, making inroads in the United States market. Some South American companies were coming here. When the economy changed, everybody wanted to know, where can I find more customers? And they looked around, they wanted to find a door they could open and walk through that room. There's more customers. And what a lot of companies found is that if you expand your business, start selling internationally, you're going to find more customers. And there are U.S. companies that thought that their plate was full with just the U.S. marketplace before the downturn in 2008. And virtually immediately afterwards, they're saying, you know what? We're going to go to Australia. We're going to go to Europe. Can you help us get to South America? So the international participation of everybody in racing has just grown. And when it comes to the future, just real quick, racers create solutions. So we like speed, we like to go fast, but you watch a race engine builder like Smokey Yunick, and he just likes the puzzle. He likes to go find the challenge, he likes the puzzle, and then he can't let it go until he's puzzled it out and found a solution. So we can talk about challenges right now and difficult times, but when this economy changed, I thought I'd rather be in this mess with racers than with any other industry. So that's the future. Next year is going to be more innovation. I'm looking forward to it, and I think we'll just be fine. Thank you.